How's it going, everyone? My name is DrapPep. Welcome back to another installment of this series. I grew up as a leash kid, a harnessed kid. I had a very bad habit of just wandering away. And I look back and I can see it now. But at the time, I felt like I was being robbed of my freedom. I want to know what's around the corner. I want to see where this butterfly is going to go. I want to see what the neighbors are up to. let me go into their house. I want to see what they're watching on TV. I never did that part, but you get the idea. I wandered away quite often. And the one thing that my family had to learn quickly is to keep an eye on me, or I will wander away. My mom on occasion has told the school district this. You gotta keep an eye on Sean, alright? If you don't, he's gonna wander away. And the teachers would be like, oh yeah, we got it. And we go on a field trip. They did not got it. They lose me pretty quickly, actually. To the point where the teachers had to really keep an eye on me. They had to hold my hand. I don't mean metaphorically. They had to hold my hand. All the way to high school. My high school teachers had to hold my hand. But my mom's solution was to put a leash on me. I don't mean like a dog collar, by the way. I mean like a harness. It was a little vest you put on your child to make them feel inferior. And the leash part went onto the back. And that way you can't reach for it. It was like dead center in your back too. And I hated that thing. That thing sucked. And eventually I outgrew it. But the thing is that it was Velcro. It would tie around my wrist. And I just had this thing attached to my wrist. Sometimes she'd take it off and let me kind of be my own independence. But the moment I look like I'm going to bolt, right? Like a stray cat who just saw the door open for the first time, is about to bolt out there, that I would give that look. I'd look around. My mom would see me doing it. She knew, right? She saw the signs of a child who's about to bolt for it, and she'd threaten me. She'd be, "Do you want the leash? Do you want this leash?" I'm like, no, never mind. 30 seconds of freedom is not worth that leash. Thing's humiliating. Until one day, I made the realization that the leash was Velcro. And I started to plan. You see, I started to pick at it every so often when she wasn't looking to try to get it off of me. On one fateful day, we were in the store for quite a while, and Velcro was loud, but I had mastered the skill of peeling it off quietly, and I would only do it when she wasn't looking. And when she would look at me, I would kind of not fully put it on, but enough to look like it was not messed with. And I put my hand on the basket so she could see it. You see, my idea was if she saw it on my wrist still, then she wouldn't question it. And eventually, when she wasn't fully paying attention, I would just make a run for it. So we're walking through, I think it was pavilions. We were walking through pavilions. And this pavilions has a Panda Express and a pizza place. I don't think it was a Pizza Hut. A Pizza Hut and a Panda Express inside one. I think that pavilions is still there. It was in Huntington. I know exactly where in Huntington. And I wonder if it still has the Panda Express in there. I don't know. But we were walking through, and there I was, just messing with it. Now, by the way, this pavilions had a toy aisle, which I thought was cool. And they had some cool toys in this pavilions. This was kind of almost like a mall in a way. It had your groceries, it had Panda Express, it had a Pizza Hut, it had a toy aisle, a whole candy aisle. The 90s were cool. There was some cool stuff in the 90s back then. And so I was, peeling at it, until finally I had it off. But I couldn't just drop it and run, she would catch me. She was faster than me. And so I knew I had to bide my time. And right when she was on her way to the Panda Express, because I knew when we were going over there, we had a pattern to it. And my mom liked to allow me to have a free sample of the orange chicken. It was like a tradition of mine. I go to pavilions, I get a free sample of orange chicken. That was just my routine. So we were on our way to the Panda Express section of the pavilion store when I finally was like, okay, here's my chance. And I took it off my wrist, and I just let it drop on the ground, and I just watched my mom walk away with this leash dragging behind her, and she's still talking to me. Like as if I'm there with her still. There's like people around her watching her walk through the store with a leash dragging behind her, and she's talking to me like I'm there. Now, of course, I wanted to go to the toy aisle, but my curiosity was piqued. I wanted to see how long it would take before she realized I wasn't there. So I followed her. I had my freedom and I could have left, and I decided to follow her to see how long it was going to take before she realized I wasn't there anymore. So it was she went to the Panda Express. She asked for the orange chicken. She goes, "Oh, can I get a free sample of orange chicken for me and my son?" And the people at the place were like, "Your son?" Like, "Yeah, my son." And she looked down at the empty leash, the vacant side of the leash, and realized I was gone. And she started screaming my name. "Sean, where are you?" Like real loud, constantly. And well, I knew my chances of being able to go to that toy aisle was diminishing fast. I had to make a break for it. So I ran to the toy aisle. I was like looking at all the things. I knew she was on her way. I wasn't going to run anymore. Like I got to the aisle that I was trying to get to. And I had to look at everything like lightning fast because I was on a time limit. She was going to be there at T minus 30 seconds. If you're going, whatever you're going to look at it quick. And she showed up just as predicted. I mean, she knew exactly where to find me. It wasn't like there was anywhere else in the store I wanted to go to. It's not like I'm going to be like, you know what? I think I want to go in the housing department. I want to see all the cleaning supplies. Where's the comment? Let me see the comment. The Windex. That's what I want to see. The Windex. Nah, man. She knew where I was going to be. And she was mad. I went from being just a leashed kid to, congratulations, you're now a basket kid. You get to sit in the basket forever because the leash wasn't working anymore. Once I figured out how to get out of the leash, she knew. That was it. No more leash. A whole era ended because I was clever enough to figure out how to get out of it. It was just Velcro. Even I felt kind of stupid. I was like, oh, damn. That's all that was? Just Velcro? I thought it was like some other kind of magic. But, yeah, once I figured out how to get out of that, I became a sort of basket case, if you will. I couldn't really sit in the, like where you're supposed to put your kid in the basket, because that hurt. That hurt my legs, and she noticed that I didn't like it, so she just quite literally put me in the actual basket of it, and would put all the groceries around me, and that sucked too. Because now I have groceries piled up on top of me while I'm inside this basket. But she was like, this is what you get. This is what you get for wandering away too often and figuring out how to get out of the leash. Now you get to be inside the basket. That sucked. That sucked more than the leash, to be honest. But I will never forget that. I'll never forget the leash, and I'll never forget being stuck in that stupid basket for so long. Eventually, I was able to get out of it. Once I figured out how to climb out. Before, I was a little scared. I was like, I don't know. It's kind of high up here. I don't want to trip and fall. Then I realized there's an easy way of getting out of these baskets. And once I figured out how to get out of them, my punishment became more severe. Then I had to be the child that gets to be almost handcuffed to the cage. I was like an escape artist. I kept figuring out ways out of there, and my punishment was dire. It kept increasing. Security was doubled. All right, eventually, more eyes had to be put on me. Either my dad or my sister had to keep an eye on me. It was usually my sister who had to keep an eye on me. Unfortunate soul. She was unwillingly volunteered for that. But that's going to be it for this episode. I want to thank everyone for joining in.